this?
Welcome to the Killer Comic Show.
Welcome to the Killer Comic Show.
What's up, YouTube, and welcome to the Killer Comic Show.
There we go. Didn't need to do that. How you doing, Thomas?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. The sun's been shining. Apart from we had a storm here last night. Like I'm talking a torrential rain. I thought there was a disco happening in my bathroom. Honestly, the thunder, the lightning, it was wicked. I was up till like 3 o'clock just watching it, but it was great. So,
Just stood in the window like that.
just having a dance, having a rave. How's things been? No good? Busy?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah. Very busy today. Up until today, I've not been that busy, but yeah, very busy today. What about yourself?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's not been too bad. Shit happened with work. Got made redundant, but hey ho. We've got comics. It's Thursday night. It's their loss, not mine.
I mean, you're a good-looking chap. You work hard. You do this show. You'll bounce back.
Thank you.
It's their loss, mate.
It is their loss, but it's been a good week. It's unfortunately
That's
Andy. I know, yeah, sweet. You can pay that PayPal, yeah. Andy's a bit under the weather, so he won't be joining us tonight. But don't worry, we still got some killer indies, and we've got killer keys, and we've got reviews, and we've got killer covers, and we've got pickups and stuff like that. But as always, the chat is absolutely buzzing. So who was first in? We had GP Venom Comics and Collectibles. Hi, all. We'll try and get in the chat. If not, we'll catch the rewind. Have a good show, guys. Well, you made it into the chat, so that's a good one.
Do you think he posted that earlier today or like 5 or 6 days ago?
He posted it at 10 to 9. So
okay.
I don't know if he was trying to look into the future and say that he'll post in the chat, but he's already done it. We've got myself. We've got Man Like Triple GGG. There we go. And we've got Chris Bell. Ding, ding. I'm big screening you boys again tonight. Put my foot down. The missus was told it's unclear. The missus was told it's unclear if she heard me if she's out, but by God, did I lay down the law. There we go. That is
what a ledge.
That is a statement if ever.
Sometimes you've got to lay down the law, mate.
Sometimes you had. The one and only Mr. Fuzzy Dunlop, Evening Humanoids. Fuzzy, I've got to say, I'm absolutely loving the post that you're putting up with all your figures. You and Triple G, it's like you've got an unsung competition that's going on who can post the most pictures, the 1 in 6 scale, and who can figure them up the most. It's enjoying to watch, so well done. Miss Connie Dalton, how are you doing, darling? Always a pleasure to have you here. The one and only Phil's nerdy voice. All right, boys, how you doing, son? Good show last night. I was watching from the comfort of my bed because I was asleep by 10 o'clock and then I woke up and continued to watch it.
Basically, Charlie's saying he was watching, but from the comfort of his eyelids. So, like, he was watching like this.
It was a good show. I enjoy it. I don't comment. When I watch other people's videos, I don't normally comment because I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I, mate.
I like to enjoy it. And who else? We've got.
I want to get lost in it and then forget to comment.
That's it. That's the thing. YouTube's own Heisenberg, Mr. Leon Russell. Good evening, killers. Good evening, sir. So, Tom.
Yo, my gorgeous.
Have you got any pickup? I'm just literally going to go first because I've only got one. So
I was going to say you might as well go first.
I have this absolute beauty. It is the Made in Korea trade paperback. Now, this came out a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. But this one is pretty special because this one came all the way from America and it is signed by Mr. Jeremy Holt himself. I was lucky enough to get one. Tom was lucky enough to get one. Andy was lucky enough to get one. And the competition winner from the giveaway, Mr. Chris Bell, was also lucky enough to get one. So I'm absolutely over the moon with that. Very happy. Thanks to a friend of the show, Jeremy, for signing that. Thank you very much. But that's all I've got to pick up. I haven't been out. I haven't made no comics. My pull list from Galactic should be here tomorrow. But that doesn't bode well considering the show's on a Thursday. So, Tom, it's over to you.
Save it for next week. Save it for next week, mate.
Indeed.
Yeah, so exactly the same as you, mate. I obviously had my stackery arrive. So my missus got her shoes, which is quite cool. And we all got our books, which is excellent. But at least my missus got her shoes for the wedding, so I get that's a bonus and all that. But yeah, I got the same thing, made in Korea, volume 1. We're hoping that Jeremy and George are going to do a volume 2. But what I really like about these is the fact that it's actually signed directly to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because normally when you get a signed book, it's literally either just like Jerry Holt. But the fact that it's to Tom from Jeremy Holt, I was like, that is pretty cool. I haven't read it yet, but I'm kind of hoping he might have like put a little something in there, just changed a few lines or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Because
like
Jeremy.
Because it's Jeremy.
My only criticism, right? My only criticism for Jeremy, if he's listening, right? Love you, dude. Like, you're awesome. Absolutely love you. I think you're great. But you could have bagged and boarded them. That's all I'm saying. Because mine came with a huge dent in the back. And I'm pretty sure Chris's was as bad. Andy's, I think Andy's might have got the most perfect conditioned one out of all of us. And when you're like, can I take the cover off? And then put it on someone else's?
But do you know what? Do you know what? It's really weird. With a comic, with a standalone comic, I'd be annoyed. But with a trade paperback, I don't seem to be. I don't know if there's people in the chat. I don't know if Phil or Connie, you're the same. But I mean, this one, it's got like a little, like you can see the page breaks there. Right?
Yeah.
And up there, right? There we go. If that was on one of my comics, I'd be like, oh my God, are you having a laugh? But with a trade paperback, I'm like, it's fine. It's really weird. I'm not really that bothered by it.
I suppose with a trade paperback, more so than a single issue. I mean, most of us buys the single issues to read them, but a lot of people buy them to collect them to sell them on later on in the future or for their the value and stuff. What the fuck is that? And then but with the trades, you buy them to read them and stack them on the shelf and then pick them off and read them in like a book, like a normal book. Yeah. So I suppose it doesn't really matter if they're a bit tatty. I mean, all my trades that I've got are just ruined.
And it's like what Connie said, you'd be horrified if you saw how I store trades then.
Yeah.
I don't see, that's the thing. I think, and I think Jeremy obviously knows how Andy likes his 9.8.
Tag us in a picture, Connie. We'd like to see that.
I'd love to see that. And regarding ABZ's comment, he knows Andy likes 9.8. I think, if I'm right, Andy is the only person that owns the 9.8 made in Korea CGC in the UK. At the moment, because me and him are going head to head on it on eBay, and he kind of picked me to the post. But here's what it is. I've sent mine off. Hopefully they should come back in the next couple of weeks. I know Andy's got some few CGCs coming back. You've got some as well.
I've got. They've already here. I'm gonna wait till we do it all together and show it.
Okay. And Connie's just confirmed that she uses her trades. She uses a trade box as a bedside table. Okay, you definitely need to send us a picture now, because now I'm more intrigued as I was when you had, was it Sebastian Stan, and you was personal training him. So yeah, I'm more interested in seeing that. But anyway, that's enough of me waffling on. Tom, what did you pick up this week?
So yeah, my stacker arrived. So it meant that my J. Scott Campbell haul arrived. So I've been waiting a while for these. So I got the Mary Jane and Black Cat variants that J. Scott Campbell did. So you've got, and they all come in Mylars, which is absolutely amazing. So
where did you purchase these from?
From the J. Scott Campbell store. And I've given up, like, you can buy them blank, like without his signature on, or you can buy them with his signature on. So I've given up getting the ones with the signature on because they're like double the price. And I'm hoping if he ever comes to the UK, I'll just take him and get them signed. And then I'll get our good buddy at Hobgoblin Hideaway to CBSC them for me. But yes, so I got the Black Cat, Mary Jane motorcycle variant, which is just awesome. Really like that one. I got the Las Vegas variant for the same comic.
That's nice.
Which is quite a nice one. Nice pair of legs, obviously. I then got the one where they're wearing the J. Scott Campbell t-shirts, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
So the covers but the t-shirts they're wearing are two of J. Scott Campbell's most famous covers.
That is. But do you know what I like about J. Scott Campbell's covers? He signs them anyway.
Yeah, they're already signed.
I know a load of artists sign them, but J. Scott Campbell signs them in a prominent place, and it's quite a big signature, so it's kind of looked like it's signed anyway.
Yeah. And then I got the tattooed variant, which is probably my favorite one.
Oh my God! Right, I'm going to ask you a question, and you don't have to answer on air if there's is listening. But how much did these set you back?
The set of the 4, I think, was 70.
$70.
Yes, because I didn't go for signatures, so they were half the price of what they would. Because otherwise, they'd have been 100 and something. But because I took them to my stackery, I saved on postage, which was quite good. Actually,
That tattoo one is incredible.
Mate, if we were doing cover of the week, this would be my pick, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I love the intricacy on the arm, like the tie. She's tattooed on, and she's got Felicia, the cat with the lucky number 9 or unlucky number 9 on it.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool touches that he's done on that. And then he had a sale, so I bought a stack load of stuff on his sale. So I got the Harley Quinn 75 covers, the interconnecting covers where she's fighting Punchline. Mainly bought this because my dog.
That's J. Scott Campbell. That's J. Scott Campbell.
These are, man.
Oh my god, they're wicked.
So yeah, I mean, I don't normally collect the DC stuff. I always just buy the Marvel. I kind of draw the line with J. Scott Campbell because there's so many. I draw the line with just his Marvel stuff. But I couldn't not buy those because obviously Raggles is in the foreground of that one book, and I was like, I can't not do that. I got the 1 in 50 Shang-Chi, but this one is signed. So I'm chuffed with that one. That one's quite a nice one. I love the dragon in the background of that.
Yeah, that looks
the original of this is stunning.
They look so good in Mylars,
don't they? I feel like all comics should be in Mylars.
Yeah,
should just be the way forward. And then I finally I collected the X-Men comics he did a while back. So he did the Uncanny X-Men. He did like all the X-Men characters with all different positions. This is the X-Men Legends versions of the same thing. So like a kind of stack. So you've got Storm on one of the issues. So I like that one. So you got Storm and Iceman. So the kind of bluish characters. Then you've got Dazzler and Longshot, which is cool.
That looks great.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the touches he does on them. Like, for instance, the old Marvel style. Bit, that's a J. Scott Campbell drawing as well. So it's not a retake. It's a completely redrawn bit. And then you've got Bishop and Jubilee. That one is quite nice.
That's nice.
And then you've got Magneto. That one's quite cool. I like that one, to be fair.
They're all just good. Like, and people do say he does a bit Disney and stuff like that, but it looks great.
And then my favorite one is Polaris and Banshee, and I think it's the colors that do it, which are by Sabrine Rich.
Ah, that's right. But, she's doing a lot of his stuff now, isn't she? Yeah,
she is. She's his go-to colorist at the moment. But I absolutely love this. I mean, I love how amazing Polaris looks, but I mean, Banshee looks awesome. His facial expression is incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really chuffed with these. And that's it. I've still got stuff to come because I ordered the most recent Spider-Man versions. I think it's issue 1 Spider-Man. So nice.
I've just read a comment. It says, I have frozen mid-rave. Am I frozen on the screen?
No, mate, you're very pixelated. Pixelated?
You know, I don't know what's going on my internet tonight. I think mine's gone off a bit. Yours has gone off a bit. But yeah, it's all right. We're all good.
If I end up talking to myself, at least,
we'll get through it. We always have internet issues on this place, no matter how much we've got going on. But yes, no, I haven't frozen mid-rave. I can see the little Wi-Fi signal going up and down, and it's absolutely shocking. So that's the pickups. I think it's time for a little bit of a jingle. Have you got any more, Tom? You got nothing else left, have you?
No, not anything of interest.
Right, well then...
I can show you some beer. I can show you some shoes.
No, we don't need shoes. We don't need shoes. We don't need shoes. Right, let's have a little bit of a jingle. There we go.
Some jingle.
Did that go really, really fast then? It sounded like it went really, really fast.
It did, to be fair.
It did, didn't it? But here we are. So this is the Killer Covers, May 18th, which was yesterday. So there's only us two. It's only us two. There's only one of us that can win, Tom. So up first is...
Is Andy not picked anything?
He hasn't done anything, bless him.
So I'm in a 50-50 chance, right? Yes.
Yes, you are.
So I've gone with House of Slaughter, issue 6. by Canove Comics exclusive. Now, I absolutely love this cover, and because it's the first appearance of this new guy from the slaughterhouse who happens to be a relative of Erica. I think it's very poignant that he's like the bookkeeper for the House of Slaughter. So, like, he knows all the past and stuff, and I love the way that this artist, I'm not even sure who the artist is, but I love the way the artist has actually hand painted this, like Carla Cohen would do a cover. So this is hand painted with oils, and I just love the way that he's drawn it all out. I mean, there's a video of it on YouTube. You'll have to find it. I will find the name of the artist and I'll pop it in. But he does this on YouTube. He's done the whole thing in black, and then he's gone in with a bit of tissue paper to make that dragon. That dragon's not painted on. That dragon's been rubbed away. That's how he's done it. And I think that's sick.
If you can find the link and drop it in the chat,
well,
that would be great, because I'd love to watch that. Because so he hasn't made that dragon; he's rubbed it away and created that by rubbing away some of the sketch.
So he's done the whole background. Well, he sketched it out, done the whole background. Then he's done the main character. Then he's gone in with a rubber and rubbed out areas, and then painted back over the top. It's fucking sick, absolutely sick. Love it. It's one of my favorite covers.
That is nice. So that's House of Slaughter issue number 6, the Carnival Comics exclusive. And I have gone for the Catwoman 43 by the Rob Sickie variant cover. Now, this for me, everything about this works. The pussy is predominantly placed in the correct place. We've got the skylight of Gotham City in the backdrop. You've got Catwoman. You've got the bat signal. You've got the diamond within the O of the Catwoman. Everything about this, seriously, like everything about this really, really works. And he does do interesting stuff. And I was torn between this and the Rose Besh cover.
Yeah.
Now I'm loving Rose Besh at the moment, but this
Rose
for me
Besh
is just
quality, mate.
Rose, and it's a whole graffiti art, and it looks awesome. But this for me just kind of picked the post. Like, there's so much intricity in this. Like the detailing of the cat, her suit, the reflection, the GCPD sign, the Batman sign behind it, all the landscape. For me, this is a dead cert, I think. Yeah, but it's close because I really, really like your cover as well.
Yeah, I like it. I do like this cover, but it's very digital compared to like a hand-drawn one. So what I like is we've picked two completely opposite ends of the spectrum, because yours is digital and beautiful. Mine is hand done and beautiful. I think it's really, really good. Nicely done.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop it in the chat as always. Who wins cover of the week? We've got Tom with House of Slaughter, and we've got Charlie with Catwoman. Let's ask the community, and then we will check halfway through. But there we go. But look, it's already coming back. We've got, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Yo, Hypochondriacs. Yo, how you doing, sir? We've got Hypochondriacs. Yeah, there we go.
Hypochondriacs. I like that.
There we go. We've got Darren Izzard. How you doing, sir? That's thrown me a bit. I'm normally used to seeing a Poptimist, but it's Darren. How you doing, mate? Good evening.
Wow. What?
Yeah, I know, it's thrown me. Connie says that cover is so good. I think she is referring to yours, Tom. Is that Maylev? No, it is Rob Siski. And I think the one before is Maylev. Yes, you might be right. That House of Slaughter. Mastrazzo. There we go. The House of Slaughter cover is by Marco Mastrazzo. Thank you, Google. Triple G's already sticking the knife in. Sorry, child, but you've lost this week. Tom's is fire. Cats like stop posing, whatever. There we go. They're both tasty and extremely different. Tough choice, Chris. You know what one's a winner, mate. Slaughter for me.
You know what he got in the post this week, so you know who you vote for.
And do you know what, Tom? I think you're running away with it. It's 91% of the vote at the moment.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Let's just show the viewers your one again. That is incredible. And I'd love to know what he's walking through. Are they dead bodies? Are they skeletons?
I believe they're both skeletons, because the idea is obviously he's the bookkeeper of the House of Slaughter, so he's obviously knows all the skeletons in the closet, everything. He knows everything about it, how it began. This is what the story's going to be about. This next story arc is all about how it began, why they do it, what the secrets are, and all sorts. I'm really excited about it. I can't remember his name now. I did just read it. Edwin Slaughter.
Edwin, yeah, because House of Slaughter is getting really, really good now. It's becoming really, really good. So yeah, that's going to be a good one. So looking forward to that. So moving on, we are here to review some comics. And up first, we have week number 19, which is last week. So any of you that work in, I don't know, spreadsheets and stuff, you'll know that this week is week 20. Last week is week number 19. And we give you a week's grace. So we kind of give you a week, if you're reading the comics, we give you a week to get all the spoilers out of the way. And that's that. So up first, Tom, you chose Grimm number 1 by Boom Studios. I chose the everlasting, consistently great Nocterra issue number 10 from Image. And Andy did choose a comic, but it's now been put back until next week. So I kind of chose this one, 8 Billion Genies, because it was in his indie picks last week. And I thought he'd like it anyway. So up first, Tom, it's you, and you have 12 covers. You've got 12 covers to get through. So that's 3 slides. 3 slides, 12 covers.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Let's give the dyslexic fucking 3 slides to do. Okay, guys. So yeah. So my pick is Grimm from Boom Studios. This one is written by Stephanie Phillips and artwork by Flaviano. Flaviano. Is that how you say it? Flaviano. I think
Flaviano Armentaro.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try to say the second name. They don't even do it on the Boom Studios podcast where they talk to these two about it. They didn't even do his second name. So. Anyway, so yeah, we picked this one. This one is based around the Grim Reaper. Anyway, you've got the main cover, which is by Flaviano. You've got cover B by Flaviano, which is the Virgin cover. You've got the Jenny Frison cover, which we spoke about, I think, last week, that Andy was talking about how nice it is. There is a Virgin cover of that as well somewhere. You've got the Fock variant, which I believe is what's his name now? No, it's gone. He's done quite a few House of Slaughter covers as well. But that
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The Ivan Tavo cover as well. Is that the comic book dealer exclusive, that one?
Yes.
Or is that yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got the SSO Justine Florentino cover. You've got the second printing cover, as if they've got a second printing right here.
They've got a third printing. They've got a third print. Yeah.
Wow. I can't see why not. I can see why. You got the 616 exclusive variant by Abigail Larson. If you haven't bought anything from 616, they've got a sale on at the moment, guys. Bry Comics, the Zoo Horrors variant. You've got the Unlockable variant, which is one you can get from your local comic book shop. You've got the 1 in 50 incentive variant cover, which I think is amazing. I actually think that's probably one of my favorite covers. You've got the 1 in 100 Jenny Frison cover, which is obviously the reverse colors. So you've got, rather than black and red, you've got the white and red. So he's reversed them round, which is pretty cool. Is that it?
That's it. That's all the covers. Yeah.
Oh, God. Right. Cool. Right. So, yeah. So we picked Grimm. So Grimm is basically a tale about the afterlife. And who doesn't want to read about somebody's opinion or someone's vision of the afterlife? And we all know Stephanie Phillips has written Justice League. She's written Harley Quinn. She's done a few independents that are pretty good. Gods Among Us, she does. So she's done some really good stuff. So her going into this, I was quite excited because she's very good, very talented writer. I mean, Flaviano is also a very, very talented artist. And when I read the premise about it being based on the afterlife, I just thought they'd made a really good team here because Flaviano's artwork is very kind of like out there. It's kind of like, kind of like that, what I would expect the afterlife to look like really expressive, really like gritty. Do you know what I mean? So I was really excited to read this one. And I'll be honest, in the opening cover, the opening page is written, all the lyrics have been written out for Don't Fear the Reaper across the first few panels. I was in hook, line, and sinker. And the artwork is stunning. I mean, this doesn't give you anything away for the story because this is literally like panel 1 and panel 4. That's literally it. Page 1 and page 4, sorry. And this just completely drew me in. I was like, this is awesome. I don't know if you can see. So the first page, I think it's first page 1, 2, and 3 are ever so slightly different artwork to the rest of the book. And I think that's to differentiate real life from the afterlife, which is really cleverly done. I mean, obviously later on, other stuff happens. But I feel like this whole book was a bit, through the book, you get to meet, what's her name? Haywood. Something Haywood is the name of the character, the main character, who is the Reaper. So she kind of makes this grand appearance after like a couple of panels, just basically tell this guy, you're dead. I'm going to escort you to the afterlife. And there's this cool little journey. Not a lot happens in the first arc, like the first part of this story, but it's this lovely little story between him and her, kind of like building up this realm of the afterlife. It kind of lets you fill in the gaps, if you like. But there's this little beautiful bit between them where you find out she doesn't know how she died. And he's like, well, everyone knows how they died. Surely I know how I died. Surely you know how you died. She's like, no, I don't. So obviously you've then set up then that the rest of the story or the rest of the book is going to be about her finding out how she died. And I just think like it was so intriguing. It was quite mysterious. Mysterious. And the art is just gorgeous. I really, really liked it, and I cannot wait to read 2. And I think it was left on such a cliffhanger because normally when you read these kind of like, I've read a couple of books about the afterlife, and they're all kind of samey. Like you read about some character who's like who's died, and there's their redemption and all that. So it's probably going to be the same. However, I didn't expect it to end the way it did. I thought the way it ended and what happened at the end was really clever, and it's made me want more. And I think the artwork drew me in, and Stephanie Phillips's writing is just incredible. I can't say anything more about it other than that. But yeah, I mean, the first couple of pages completely sold me. As soon as I was reading Don't Fear the Reaper, I was like, this is a tune. Love it. What do you think, Charlie?
Do you know what I've got? This was kind of on my radar. Like I see it from a limited edition comics. I was like promoting it about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And it was just the covers that threw me in. I was like, yeah, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I was all in for this. This is great. And it is I think it's the cover B, which is this one here, the cover B, which is the foil cover. I've recently literally just bought that from Galactic Comics.
Nice.
And it is like the FOC variant cover is very much, I think it's a slight copy of one of the Something is Killing the Children covers.
It is, yeah. But he's the artist has done this. It's a similar comic or similar pose. I think it's a homage to a Thor comic that he did. That artist, but I can't remember the name of the artist. It's going to drive me mad. Sorry, mate. Go on, carry on.
I really, really enjoyed the whole concept of it. I really enjoyed the whole concept of it. The whole concept of like the afterlife, the Grim Reaper, because it is when you think of the Grim Reaper, you think of a skeleton in a cape, in a black cape, coming for you no matter where you are. It just pulls you off with a scythe, and then you're done. This was really elegantly done. The writing was great. The artwork for me was fantastic. Like this panel here on the right hand side, just the flashes of color, like on her boots and the outline and stuff. I found it really, really interesting. And as you said, the way that it ended, I was kind of like, I want more. I wish this was a Comixology, because then you can instantly get more and stuff. But Boom Studios, let's be honest, other than Something is Killing the Children and various other comics they've been putting out, they've been quite quiet compared to like Image and Aftershock and Scout Comics. They've been quite quiet as of late. And I've had this on the back burner, and now they've got it out. Yeah, I'm all in for this. This is definitely a killer for me.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's Jay Lee is the artist.
Jay Lee. Yeah. Jay Lee. I'm 100% all in for this. Chris Bell, though, on the other hand, has said, I was a bit disappointed with Grimm. It felt a bit forced, getting her and her pals back to real world. Interesting twist, sort of, though. See how it progresses. I can kind of understand you. But when I think once he got going, it was a really good read. Evening 00. Evening, sir. How you doing? And we've got Dave Collects. Yeah. All the way from across the pond. Thank you very much for joining us. But yeah, as I said, it is a good comic, and I think Boom Studios I think they're going to be smashing the ball at the page. This has already gone to a third printing.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Printing already.
So I'm sure Andy would probably disagree with both of us. I bet Andy didn't enjoy it that much because it was a very simple story. There wasn't much to it.
No,
so I would.
But
probably agree.
Sometimes that's just the best. Like if it's a simple story, sometimes that's just the best way. But for me, 100% killer. Tom, what did you think?
100% killer, mate. All the way. Killer, chicken dinner.
Right. Killer, chicken dinner. So then on to me next. We have Nocterra, issue number 10. Consistently great, consistently incredible. Done by none other than the Image Comics. Written by the man, the only, Scott Snyder, and the art is by Tony S. Daniels. 3 covers this week. We've got the main cover by Sam Wolfe Connolly. We have cover B by Matteo Scalera, who obviously done King of Spires, who works really closely with Sean Murphy for the Murphyverse of Batman, and we have cover C by Tony S. Daniels variant as well. This, for me, just gets better and better and better. Since we found out that Bootstrap Bill, or Blacktop Bill, whatever his name is, Bootstrap Bill, we'll go with Bootstrap Bill. Since we found out
Bootstraps Bill.
Since we found out he's joined the Sundog Convoy, I love him even more. He's such a lovable rogue. And it's just, this story is just great. Like, the art in it is the incredible. It's just, there's terror in it. There's enjoyments in it. There's so many involving character dialogue that you kind of don't know where to look. Like, on this page here, you've got the battle between Bill and William, and we find out who the actual overarching boss is of EOS, and where it's all come from, and how Blacktop Bill became who he is and everything. And it was a really interesting story, this issue. I really found it engaging, really kind of lost myself in it. And I'm all for this comic. I absolutely love this. I've picked up every single issue. I've got the trade paperback, and it's just such a great story. Tom, what did you think?
I would totally agree with you, mate. I totally believe Nocterra can't do anything wrong. Every single week, or every week, every month, it's consistently good. My only criticism of this one is how much a bagpiper is. Like, what an annoying character in this particular book. I found Piper extremely annoying in this book. And like you said, I found Bootstrap Bill was quality. Like, I just really, as a rogue, like when he's like, oh, I'll tell you what, why don't you just undo the cuffs and give me a gun and I'll lead you in there? And they're like, yeah, of course, that's never going to happen. And then we get in there and it's like, he just knows how to play the buttons, doesn't he? I just think he's really good. He's a really good character, very well designed by Snyder, I think. I'm really excited to see in the next issue the fight between him and William. I think that's going to be classic. It's going to be.
Do you know what? I think that's going to be the telling part as well. I think that's going to be the absolute telling part of the story, is how we're going to find out. Look, I'm trying to play my bloody camera here, and I've just realised I've just lost my camera. Having a nightmare tonight.
It's awesome.
Jesus. It's awesome. But yeah,
I was enjoying talking to the back of your phone, to be perfectly honest.
You'd get more sense out of it. I'm just going to try and switch it around and see if this works. Is this better? Let's have a look. Is that better? There we go. If anyone on the YouTube can let me know if I've gone from being 2-bit to 5-bit to 1-bit to 3-bit, that would be great. But yeah, do you know what? I think this is a consistently great story. And I'll be interested to see what Andy said from this. But Andy, I don't think we're going to get anything out of Andy for the next couple of days. But again, this is a killer for me. We're on a good shift. 2 killers down.
Yeah, it's definitely a killer, 100%.
Right, sweet. Moving on.
8
Billion Genies. Yeah. Now, listen, I've got quite a lot to say about this. So this is again by 8 Billion Genies. We've got written by Charles Soule and art by Ryan Browne with an E. There's various covers out for this, as you could probably imagine. It's a New Image comic. So we've got the main cover by Ryan Browne. We've got cover B by Jenny Frisson. We've got cover C by Declan Shalvey. And we have the cover D, the 1 in 25 Ryan Browne incentive cover. We also have cover F, which is the 1 in 50 Ryan Browne incentive cover. We've got the Bird City comic exclusive variant. Obviously, this is their take of Mario World, Super Mario. And we have the 8 Billion Genies blank sketch variant cover. And we have the Nocturnal Rabbit exclusive variant. Tom, I'm going to throw this one out there, and I will be very much interested to see what you have to say about it.
Okay, so this was never even on my radar. Didn't even think about it. Andy mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I think it actually might have been last week that he mentioned it, and said that, you know, what would you do if you were given a wish? And actually made me go away and think about what I would do if I got a wish. So when you text me to say, look, we're going to pick another book, and we're going to do 8 Billion Genies, I was like, yes, I'm in. I'm going to try it. Why not? I'm going to give it a go. And it just didn't disappoint. I thought it was very well written. I liked the artwork was gritty, and it's not even, I don't think it was that even a longer book. It felt like it was gone in seconds. Like, I felt like I read through it so quickly that I had to reread it because I enjoyed it that much. It's one of the comics this year so far I've really, really thoroughly enjoyed reading. I thought it was a really good premise. I thought the character build-up was great. The guy behind the bar, this guy at the top court in the top left-hand corner, he's quality. And you instantly get from him in like 2 or 3 panels that he's a good guy. Like, he's a really genuinely good bloke. And then the kid in it is obviously going to be the main character, or one of the main characters. You've got the Chinese couple. They're obviously what I really liked about it, and I don't know if you got this too, Charlie, was the fact that you were thrown quite a few characters in quite a small period of time. And yet all the character development that happens in those small panels is phenomenal. Like, you already have a relationship in your mind with the Chinese characters. They're only in it for a small bit. You've got a relationship in your mind with the band. You've got a relationship in your mind with his dad, who only woke up at the end of the book. You've got a relationship with the guy behind the bar. You've got a relationship with the kid. And then you've got a relationship with these genies that pop up. And in essence, these genies, if you don't know the premise of the story, basically something happens in France that then causes genies to pop up everywhere. And that then causes everybody to be given a wish. The entire population, everyone gets one wish with their genie. And the real clever thing with this is there's like a clock. So it shows you the world, and it's like population of the world, so many. How many wishes have been done? So many, which is really clever. So the first couple of minutes, only one wish is granted, and it's by this guy in the top left-hand corner. And then after 8 minutes, the population has gone down, and so has the wish list.
The wish count, yeah.
Really clever. And it's amazing how this really does play on how fucking selfish people are, and how they're like, I want £1 million, or I want to kill a robot, or, I want to be a superhero. Very, very selfish. And this guy in the left-hand top corner was completely selfless. And I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed it, and it has made me really think, what would I wish for? Go on, Charlie. What do you think?
That's kind of why I'm glad you touched on it. So just before we move on, Chris Bell said Nocterra can do no wrong. Every issue pulls a twist, a shocker. What's the big plan? I need to know where Bill is taking him, because Bill is pulling the strings, man. 100% totally agree with you there. Connie Dalton still hasn't read Nocterra. Chris is saying, Connie, it's incredible. It's on the never-ending list, Chris. I just forget about it. Keep doing it. Read all of them this week, so I'll offer my thoughts again. I think this is the makings of something spectacular. I really enjoyed this issue. Charles Soule generally doesn't disappoint, and 8 seconds, 1 down on population. See what I mean? Like, so this for me, I'm really glad that you kind of confirmed that something happened in France, because when I first read it, I felt I missed out a couple of pages. I feel like it went from, we was reading about, and then all of a sudden, these genies just started popping up everywhere.
It basically went from 0 to 100, didn't it?
And I was like, and I even looked, and I was like, have I missed a page? Have I missed a page? And I didn't. And now that you've confirmed, that was the episode, that was the event that happened, causing these genies to pop up.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've got this guy here, the man who owns the bar, the what is it, the Starlighter bar or the Star Switch bar?
Lighter something, because they were going to the lamp light, weren't they?
Yeah.
So this is like the lamp light or lamp lit or something.
And he was really smart. He decides to say, my wish is to, I wish that anyone who makes a wish outside of this bar, it doesn't affect anyone in the bar or the bar itself. And we kind of see, because there's a few people in the bar that are like, oh my God, I want him to fall in love with me. I want her to fall in love with me. And when they come out, they're like, well, it hasn't worked. What an absolute joke. I've just wasted that one wish I got. And then I was kind of like, that is smart, because anyone that's in this bar and anything that happens out it's irrelevant. So you're going to waste your wish. But it's a very, very powerful story, because you do get to see how selfish, how self-important people think they are. And I came away from reading this book thinking, what would my wish be? I'd love to know what my wish would like thinking about it. Would I wish, do you know what I mean? And it was one of them comics I haven't read in a while that I was like, Jesus, that was quite thought-provoking. And it was more thought-provoking than I thought it was going to be, based on the fact that it's called 8 Billion Genies.
Yeah.
I just thought this was going to be something stupid. You know, like these genies come to Earth, they create havoc, and then everyone's like, what the hell's going on? It was cleverly done. The writing was spot on. The art was 100% from the start. And I like the way it started with the people outside the bar, and it ended with the people outside the bar, with the added elements of everything going on in the sky. For me, this end page though does kind of have a bit of a crossover event type of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's that thing, isn't it? What would you wish for? Somebody's wished for a castle in the sky. Someone's wished to be a killer robot. Someone's wished to be a superhero. These are all the wishes we've probably all thought of. But after reading this book and seeing the wish that girl makes about, like, I want him to fall in love with me, I want us to be together forever, and how she's taken away that bloke's free will is a bit like, oh shit, actually. And then this guy, the main guy, is literally like, right, I want everyone in here protected, and I want my bar protected. I don't want anything to affect me. I don't want my life to change. And it's kind of that, actually, is, you know, to be fair,
I think it was a very well written story, and I'm interested to read it again and understand more, because I think there's some hidden elements in there.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be. I think issue 2 now you've got to delve deeper into what the event was that caused these genies to appear. We only get literally a half-page spread at the bottom of, I think, page number 16, where we find out about it. And I was kind of like, really? What the hell's just happened? We was just reading a story, and now all of a sudden these genies have appeared. But so thank you for confirming that, and thank you for letting me know that was why it was that.
My only concern with this story, and I think it's only because we've seen it before in countless books and countless things where there's wishes involved. I really hope it's not going to have that stereotypical ending where the young lad who wants for nothing is just going to wish everybody's wishes away, and we'll all go back to square one where it all started. Like, everyone goes back to normal. I just hope it doesn't go like that. I hope it really messes everything up and it just becomes like totally irreversible. But that's because, isn't it?
That would be awesome, because I think that would kind of throw that on his head, and it's like, well, hold on, you thought it was going to be this. It's actually not. It's going to be this. So anyone reading this, I would suggest get stuck into it, because it is an awesome comic. And for me, this was my read of the week.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
I'd love to know what Andy thinks, but as I mentioned, I'm sure he will post and write a review or post a comment on the bottom of the show when it is up on YouTube. So yes, but before we move on to the next section of the show, let's just have a look at who's winning cover of the week. So we've had 16 votes already, which is absolutely amazing. Tom,
thanks guys.
You're on 75%, and I'm in. Well, I can only ever be in second place or last, and it's Charlie, and I'm Catwoman at 25%. And I tell you what, I think you're going to run away, but I even voted for you this week, and I even got my 27 other accounts to vote for you as well.
I voted for you.
Well, no, you're going to win, mate. You're going to win.
I never vote for myself. I feel like that's just, I can't do self-classification. I have to vote for everyone else.
You actually can't do that on YouTube, which is good. So yeah. So that's the covers of week number 19 down. There's obviously loads of covers and loads of comics that come out. We only picked the 3 that we want to read. So if you've got any covers or any comics, I keep saying covers. If you've got any comics that you would like us to review, or you would like to see what our pointless opinion is, drop it in the Instagram, post it on the chat under the on the YouTube channel, and we can do it. Why not? Not a problem. So moving on, it's that part of the show where we have another little jingle.
Another little jingle. Should I get my keys out?
Get your keys out.
Dun, 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 dun. That's what I was waiting for next.
This is your section of the show, Tom.
This is your section of the show. So it is again. We are here on the Thursday, as it were. We are doing the Killer Keys for next week, which is the 24th for DC books and May 25th for everybody else, because DC are awkward. First up we have Action Comics issue 1043, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson and artwork by Will Conrad. This one is a key, guys, because this is going to be a first appearance of a brand new Mongol. So if you've read Superman, I mean, I'm not a huge Superman fan. I've not really read Superman, but I know who Mongol is. I know there's this whole Mongol world thing where, Superman goes and fights as a gladiator. And I think this is coming off the back of Future State, where Superman became a proper gladiator and like with no powers, like literally was just fighting in gladiatorial pits. So I think it comes back off the back of that. And this new Mongol is like the first descendant of the previous Mongol. So this is like Mongol 2 or Mongol 3 or something. So this is going to be a significant character going forward, guys, because this is a gender fluid Mongol character. So it's not a male or female, gender neutral, non-binary. So it is going to be a significant character going forward into the DC universe. So it could be worth picking it up as a key for sure. And then we've got from Vault Comics, we've got Fox and Hare, which is by Jonathan Tissue and artwork by Stacey Lee. This is a brand new book, guys, but Vault are doing some amazing stuff. And this one crosses over to all their other books that's got going on. And this is basically when a black market coder attracts the attention of a mega corporation. She seeks protection from the Fox and Hare, the most feared mercenaries in the city. So this is where Fox and Hare are about to make their debut in the Vault Comics universe. So it is worth picking up for that, guys, I would say. Also, look how cool they are. Look how cool their outfits are. And I'm going to pick it up just for that. Are you on mute, Charlie?
Having an absolute nightmare tonight. Technology is not my friend today. So I was saying, I like the way that the Fox logo is in the Fox and the Hare is in the Hare. I think this could be something big, you know.
I think I might pick this one to read just because the premise sounds good. Like this whole like coder gets the attraction of the wrong people, and he's got to hire these mercenaries who are like the hardest of the hard to protect him. But you know, what are their alternative motives? I mean, what are Fox and Hare's alternative motives?
It does look good though. Like,
so yeah, cool.
Vault are putting out some good stuff as well. And it's good to see like
they've got some good stuff in their universe.
Yeah, they have. Up next.
They have. So yeah, no, guys, this is Marvel out this week. This is by Sam Spurrier and Jan Bazaldua. Anyway, by Baz.
Bazaldua.
Yeah, exactly what he said. God bless you. This is Legion of X. This is a brand new comic book for the Marvel Universe's X run. This is the first appearance of the new Legion of X, which is Juggernaut, Nightcrawler, and Pixie. We also see the first appearance of a couple of new bad guys that are coming into the X-Men universe, which is Weaponless Zenler, Araya Seta, and Mother Righteous. And also there's this new god that they refer to make his first appearance, called Aratica. So this could be a good one if you're on the X-Men hype, especially because X-Men are about to make their big debut into the Disney MC universe. So, I mean, any first appearance from any X-Men comic could be worth picking and putting away for a rainy day. Especially any brand spanking new character that could, be culturally available to everybody. It is worth picking those particular books up. I like the... Oh, go on, sorry.
I just can't get into X-Men comics. I can't do it. For some reason, I just have a mental block and I can't read X-Men comics.
I'll be honest, mate. X of Swords ruined it for me. I haven't been able to get back into it since X of Swords. I just thought it was... I mean, Jonathan Hickman is one of my favorite writers and he completely ruined X-Men for me at X of Swords. I just thought it was cash.
It's a shame, isn't it? It is a shame because that one comic is just...
Yeah, ruined it for everyone else.
But that's the one I read, and I think it was featured on Not Quite Meant as well. And I could not get into it. I was like, this is like reading an encyclopedia. I'm not for that.
Well, yeah, put it this way. I mean, Not Quite Meant was a really successful YouTube channel and a really successful comic shop. We did X of Swords. I'm now on this show.
Wow.
I love this show.
Wow. And up next, you've got...
I wouldn't be anywhere else. Yes, so next up is DC. This one is out on the Wednesday if you're in America. Tuesday in America, or Wednesday like everyone else here in the UK. This is DC versus Vampires Hunters, issue 1. And this one is based around Damian Wayne, completely based around Damian Wayne, what he was doing during the DC versus Vampires. So this is a one-shot about Damian Wayne going around slicing up the bad guys, slicing up the vampires, and where he was during the whole DC vampire thing. I have a feeling that this is a one shot for him particularly, but there are going to be other one shots during the DC Vampire universe of where other characters have been. I'm not sure who else would be coming, but they are going to be doing them. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, this one's by Matthew Rosenberg, and the artwork is by Neil Goose. John Boy Myers does the cover to this, so he's a friend of the show. He's an absolute amazing chap. I mean, I picked it purely for the cover, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
However, reading a bit more about it, there is a first appearance of a brand spanking new vampire bad guy in the DC universe within this book. So it could be worth picking up for that.
DC Vampires, right, went under the radar for me. A lot of people are like, oh my God, vampires, DC, like, it's a load of rubbish. I read it. I really, really enjoyed it. And this, for me, I've been reading The Robin, as I know you have, and his trade paperbacks out as well, and I've picked it up as well. So I'm looking forward to reading that again. Damian Wayne has become a really favourite character of mine, a real favourite character of mine. Like his whole, everything about him is just great. Like
he's like, with me, right? Jason Todd is one of my favourite Batman characters, but only when he came back as the Red Hood. I've never really got into Robin as a character. I'm not keen on Nightwing. I think he's a bit boring. I think Batgirl's pretty cool. I've never really got into what's the other one? Red Robin, who's Tim Drake. I don't really get his Robin. But Damian Wayne, he's like the nice mix between Nightwing and Red Hood. And he's like the perfect Robin. For me, he's my Robin. I'll always be like, yeah, Damian Wayne, 100% is the best Robin for me. I would argue that for days.
And what I've been doing as well, I've been picking up the variant John Boy Mayer covers that he's been doing because 1, they're on cardstock, 2, they look great, and 3, there's so many of them and they are fantastic. He's done Wonder Woman, he's done Shadow War, he's now done this one, and he's got a few others coming out. If you check him out over on his Instagram, he's been doing some absolutely sensational artwork for CGC at the moment. Like some of the images that he's dropping have been really great. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to reading this one. And again, this cover just did it for me.
Yeah. So
then obviously,
if you want to follow me and what I do and what I get up to, you can follow me on Instagram under Instagram Not Quite Mint. Not a lot gets posted on there at the moment. I am going to be showing off my collection after I get married. Because I'll have a bit more time on my hands to do that. And I would love to show my JS Camel collection to all of you guys. There's like thousands of them. But if you do want to see what I'm currently doing at the moment with my artwork, if you head to the Art of Tom Malin, I do try and post daily on there any artwork I do. I'm kind of going through this transitional phase where I'm changing my art style and I'm doing a bit more digital stuff. So I'm going from pad to draw back to my tablets now. I am going to be dropping the big piece I've been working on, I think, tomorrow because it's completely finished and I'm really chuffed with it. So I'm really happy. So I will drop that at some point. Very
much looking forward to that. Now, as this is the part of the show where we normally have Andy and he's doing his killer indies, but we've got a treat for you tonight. So we'll have another little jingle jangle, and then we'll see who's going to come on. Hello there. This is the Killer Indies, May 24th and 25th. I'm Charles and I'm your host of the Killer Indies for this week. Now, unfortunately, Andrew is sick, not very well, so I am taking over. That's enough of that. I can't keep that up for 17 or 25 slides. But yes,
please, come on.
This all right, okay, I'll put them back on. Right, this is the Killer Indies, May 24th, May 25th. Up first, we have Blood-Stained Teeth. Now, this is written by Christian Wald, art by Patrick Reynolds, and the premise of this is, let's find out what the premise is. It is after. So I read issue number 1. Absolutely love issue number 1. It's really, really great. And this is after last issue's shocking revelations, vampire for hire Atticus Sloane is in trouble. Now he'll have to use all his guile to stay ahead of the Firstborn Council and the murderous Mr. Tooth. Unfortunately, that also means going head to head with the vicious cage-fighting vampire Duke Ellis. This is an awesome comic. Seriously, it's a really, really, again, it's another
Yeah.
vampire comic, but it's Image, and they just do the artwork in it is so out there. Like the first issue was a neon spectacular. It was amazing. Really, really loved it. Didn't think I was going to like it. Didn't really think it was something I was going to get into, but I did. I enjoyed it. Really, really liked it. So I would definitely pick this up and add this to your pull list. So that is Bloodstained Teeth issue number 2. Up next from Scout Comics, this comic has been floating around, right? This comic's been floating around for about 3 or 4 weeks. This is
How many
Triskelli.
times have we featured this one now?
I think we've featured it 3 times. It just keeps changing. The finish line keeps changing for this comic. So we've got Triskelli issue number 1. We have it's written by Philippe Pan and the art is by Mona Ramis. And the premise for this is when young Alec Ellis is granted a magical gift on Soham at night, the scales of power on the island of Albion are inadvertently shifted. Now, together with his friends, he is about to embark on a dangerous journey that shall decide the fate of their entire kingdom. Set in a medieval world populated by characters and events from the Celtic myths and legends, Triskelli is a visually stunning journey into the world of once forgotten and traditions. It is an epic story of courage, friendship, imbued with fascinating characters and steeped in on the magic of the Welsh and Irish folklore. And breathe.
Bloody hell. I think I've just had a heart attack.
That sounds awesome. And for the 5th time, I'm really looking forward to reading it.
For the 5th time, I can't wait for one of us to pick it.
I'm going to pick it. I'm going to pick it for next week if it comes out. If it moves again, then yeah. But Connie's saying that she's really looking forward to reading Bloodstained Teeth. It really is good. Right? I didn't think I was going to get into it as much as I did, but I did. So that's Scout Comics, Triskelli issue number 1. Then we have Image Newburn issue number 7, written by the fantastic Chip Zdarsky and art by Jacob Phillips. This comes out next Wednesday, and this is, if you haven't been reading it already, where have you been? This is coming to the end now. There's one more issue after this, and this is kind of tying everything together. And it says the murder of the Yakuza boss could send the criminal world into chaos if Newburn can't find the killer before the cops do. Plus, in the second issue of the Spookorama from Grilly and Lee, Ronnie tries one last time to get justice for Vedder's murder. Have you been reading this, Tom?
Do you know what, mate? I was so pleased we picked it the other week. I read all the way up to, I think, issue 5. And then I think issue 6 was the cover where it's like orange and black, and he's like in prison overalls.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Andy that said it wasn't that good, and I thought, shall I read it? Shall I not read it? And I thought, we're probably going to pick it again, so I'll wait and I'll read it like I did last time, 2 or 3 books, because I really like reading books like that, to be fair.
But honestly, Newburn, there's one issue after this. I think the next issue comes out on the 16th of June. So we're kind of getting to the end of it now. But it has been great. Looking forward to reading the trade paperback of this. So that's Newburn issue number 7. Then we have, again, this was featured last week as well. But again, the date has changed for that. And this has now been put back. This is the Recount Preamble issue number 1, written by Jonathan Hendrick, art by Gil Lopez. This is an excitable comic that I'm really, really interested in reading. The premise is Scout's hit series is back. It's set years before the shocking events of the Recount. Preamble details the life of Phil Pontus, the tragic death of his mother, his military service and subsequential decisions to enter politics has ascended into the office of vice president, and the terrible events that culminated in his assumption of leadership of a terrorist group known only as the Masses. This, for me, has like the essences of what's that American film where one night a year, is it The Purge? It's The Purge.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
This seems very much like that. And I'm very, very much looking forward to reading it. And I'm trying to be more upbeat than Andy is about his horror comics, because he brings the drama and everything. But I think this one you will be all right in reading. I think this might be, let's think, like Dogs of London, right? The Dogs of London didn't feature one dog, but it had a dog on the cover. I don't really think this is going to feature clowns and stuff. And I think the only reason that you might have seen this as a clown is because the red line is running down his face and it's gone over his nose, giving him the thing of a clown.
Yeah.
What I'll do, I'll read it. I'll have a look at it, and then if it is too bad, then I'll tell you not to read it. But I think it might just be that. But yeah, so that is the recount preamble issue number 1 from Scout Comics. Then we was lucky enough to be sent this, to read this issue number 2 already. So I'm very much looking forward to this. This is Good Boy Volume 2, issue number 1 from Source Point Press, written by Garrett Gunn and Christina Blanche, and art by Kit Wallace and Doug Manning. And the premise of this is, with revenge in his rearview mirror, Flint heads for the farm, a peaceful community for retired and deactivated guild members. But his dreams are short-lived when he finds the facility is rubble after an attack by a mysterious canine named Tucker, who will stop at nothing, absolutely nothing, to repay a decades-old vengeful debt.
Nice.
This again, for issue 1 of volume 2, has 47 variant covers.
Oh God.
This is the problem with variant covers. If there's something like, I know this was a Kickstarter and Garrett Gunn done amazingly, and I think we mentioned this when issue number 1 came out, that if you signed up for the Kickstarter, you got the briefcase, you got the CGC, you got the coins, and you got 4 or 5 different variant covers. I've read this. I do enjoy it, and I think this is going to be more impactful, and it's going to be better than volume number 1 was.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I really do think so. So yeah, that's from Source Point Press. And then last but not least, we couldn't have gone anywhere without the trusty Stillwater issue number 13 from Image Comics, written by Chip Zdarsky and art by the one and only Ramon K. Perez. Now, if you've been reading this, you know how deep in the story we are now. And the synopsis of this is short and sweet. And it says, the rules have changed. Daniel now holds a special place in Stillwater. Can Galen's hold on the town stand up to the new challenger? That's it. That's it. This is...
Sounds so good.
I'm so looking forward to reading this. Like, this again, like Nocterra, has been consistently great. There was a few lulls in, I think, issues number 6 and 7, but they were still good because they kind of give you a false sense of security. Like, oh, is this where it's going to be? And then boom, it's going to be good. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, Stillwater's been like
one
of the most consistent. Yeah, it's one of the most consistent books, I think.
Yeah, and I think because it's done by Image, you're always expecting. And Chip Zdarsky, if you don't know by now, he's literally the man at the moment. He's writing so many. He's going to be on Batman, I think, next month, which is going to be interesting.
Oh, mate, I'm so excited for that. I feel like he's just going to revolutionise Batman.
I think he will, I think it will literally just take off like James Tynion did when he took it over. But that is it. That is the Killer Indies. I apologise to everyone in the chat that was expecting me to be more insightful.
More Scottish is what they're thinking.
More Scottish, but yeah, Andy will be back with us next week, hopefully. So hopefully he's getting better. But Darren, I do see your comment. When is the Funko competition? There is a Funko competition coming. There's a big Funko competition coming. It's going to be interesting. I'm actually talking to someone at Funko, so we've got some things planned. But as soon as I know more than that, I will let you all know. I'm sure I'll do an Instagram post and then I'll mention it on the chat as well, and also in here as well. But stay tuned for all you Funko Pop lovers, because there is going to be something coming quite soon. That's going to be interesting.
Soda Pups.
So there we go. We've had the killer covers. Should we just have a little check on who's winning? So at the moment, Tom, I think you've run away with this. 25% of the vote is myself with the fantastically strategically placed Pussycat Catwoman cover, and we've got Tom running away with it with 75% of the vote with the House of Slaughter.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Means a lot.
Well done. So now let's get on to the killer trades. So obviously May 25th is next Wednesday, and up first, Tom, you have picked.
So I am hugely into my Japanese anime. Obviously, we've said this before. I'm massively into the manga and stuff. And Peach Momoko has been a crossover, and she is one of the Stormbreaker artists for Marvel at the moment. And she's not just an artist; she's a writer too. And this trade paperback is Demon Days Treasury Edition, and this collects all of the Demon Days books that have come out so far. But not only that, you have original artwork by Peach Momoko. You've got some concept artwork by Peach Momoko at the back, and you've also got a little bit of her workings out, apparently, how she took Japanese folklore and worked out what characters she was going to do for each one, which is something you are never going to find anywhere else other than if you buy this book. So it's 184 pages. It's only $39.99. And it is written and artwork by Peach Momoko. Why would you not? And also the cover is exclusive for this particular book. You can't get it on a single cover. It's only on the trade paperback.
That's pretty. See, it's hitting for me. It's hit and miss with Peach Momoko.
Yes,
and I'm going to be honest. A lot of people love her, and a lot of people don't. But I guess it's the same with Rose Besh. Rose Besh is very an acquired taste, but I never really got into Demon Days.
Well, the thing is, and I've just seen Connie's comment about her really wanting to picking up Demon Days. I personally, Connie, if I were you, I would pick it up because it's basically taking Japanese folklore and retelling it, but from a Marvel point of view. So, like, there's a Japanese folklore about this. It's almost like Adam and Eve's kind of, the snake in Adam and Eve, the vicious snake. Well, in this, it's a similar story, but the snake is venom, as in like the symbiote venom, and how it takes over and it manipulates. It's really cleverly done how she takes some of the characters. But I can see why people were put off by it because it's very Japanese. It's very, very, very Japanese. Her art style is Japanese. The way she's written it is Japanese. The stories are Japanese, but with familiar characters. So if you're not willing to kind of look at it from that point of view, you might be like, well, this is a shit American comic. Well, yeah. It would be, but it's not an American comic is what I would say. It's not. It's kind of like Marvel broadening their horizons and trying to, give you something new. But I would 100% recommend it. The I think it's Rising Storm, which was one of the most recent ones, is phenomenal with Storm and Thor. It's absolutely quality.
But yeah, I think you've just explained that so much better than any of the premises of these comics that I have. So, I mean, that might be something I'll pick up. It might be something I'll pick up in trade paperback form.
I mean, even if you pick it up and don't like it, you can then resell it on, is what I would say.
And what Triple G said, I struggle with her art done covers. Some covers are great, but most miss. Yeah, I'm so with you, Peter, on that one. I'm 100% with you on that. Some of them are fantastic, but some of them are just like there's no need for them.
The problem with them is obviously she's been so with Japanese artists. You are kind of you have to shit out so much art constantly. Like it's really consistent. And the American ways of doing it is it's monthly, whereas she's used to doing it like hourly, daily. She's got to shits her artwork out.
Yeah.
So Marvel will be like, oh, I want to have this particular thing, and then she kind of. I feel like some of the stuff she does is really rushed. When she could really take her time. Because if you look at some of the stuff that she does where she takes her time, most people love those. And those tell a story because she's drawn it from a Japanese point of view and it's kind of got hidden meanings and messages behind it. And then you can see where Marvel are like, we need a cover quickly. Can you do us one? And then she's just shit out, a character. And it's not as nice as it could be. But yeah, I mean, I think her artwork's great. But you do have to look for, there's a lot of hidden meanings in her artwork. So a lot of them are like tattoo sleeves, like Japanese tattoo sleeves. Anyway, I'll shut up.
But yeah, this might be a one that I'll pick up. And so that's Demon Days Treasury Edition trade paperback. Then we have Black Widow Volume 3, Die by the Blade trade paperback. This is 184 pages at $34.99. Written by Kelly Thompson. Is it written by Kelly Thompson? No, yeah, it is written by Kelly Thompson. And the art is by Rafael de la Torre. And this is collecting Black Widow issues number 11 to 15. I know Dino has been reading this. I kind of jumped off this at around issue number 5. I kind of just, Black Widow for me has never really been a big character that I've been interested in. She's never really been a big character that I've even really followed. I enjoyed the film, but that even when she was in the Avengers, that kind of just, that was it for me. So I don't think there's going to be Black Widow fans out there. I've seen some of the artwork in the trade paperbacks from what Dino posted on Instagram, and it does look enjoyable. The story does look excitable, but for me, it's nothing really that I would propose I'm going to jump on. I think I'm becoming more of like an Image Boom Studios DC kind of guy. But yes,
I would agree. I think Marvel are really lacking with their stories at the moment. I mean, if you look back a few years ago, I think Black Widow Red Room is a really good story. It talks about her like backstory and how she had to do all this ballerining and everything, and how like only one Black Widow could survive, all others had to die, and she had to be like the one and only surviving Black Widow. I like that was a really good story. And I just find Marvel now kind of they just kind of bring out stories for the sake of bringing it out, and they always do. It always seems to be like these B-list, A-list, B-list, C-list characters that get the brunt of like really bad stories. Kelly Thompson is a really good writer, but I feel like she gets stifled a little bit at Marvel because they're like, well, you can't use her in that way because we need her later on in an A-list book, so you can't do that.
And I think it's true what Connie said. She said, I like the story of Black Widow. I like the story of the Black Widow run, but the art really stresses me out for some reason. I've got to agree with you. From what I've seen, some of it looks good, but then some of it, on the other hand, you're kind of like, it's just all over the place. So yes, this is Black Widow volume number 3, Die by the Blade. Then we have, again, this was featured last week, but it was put back again. This is Eat the Rich trade paperback, 128 pages, $19.99, which is around £16. Sarah Gailey and P.S. back. This was awesome. We reviewed 5 issues of this on the show. It's now in trade paperback form. And basically, if you guys want to read what's on the screen, if not, it says, with law school and her folk life, her whole life ahead of her, Jolie plans to spend the summer with her boyfriend, Asta, at his seemingly perfect family home. That's all I'm going to say, because it kind of just turns it on its head, and it's bold, it's horrifying, it's a psychological thriller from Hugo award-winning Sarah Gailey, the Echo wife, Magic for Liars, and artist P.S. back with colorist Roman Titov and letterer Cardinal Ray. This, for me, when I read issues number 1 and 2, I was like, oh, this is a bit tasty, excuse the pun. But it really is great. It really is a great comic, and it's by Boom Studios, and it's fantastic, and it collects Eat the Rich issues 1 to 5. So yes, if you haven't picked this up yet, do, because it's a really enjoyable read.
I'd recommend it, to be fair.
Yeah. So that is Eat the Rich trade paperback, 128 pages from Boom Studios. Then we have We Only Find Them When They're Dead, Volume 2, the Steeler trade paperback, 144 pages, $14.99, written by the fantastic Al Ewing, and the art is by Simone Di Maio. Tom, have you been reading Di Maio? Are you reading this? Because I switched off, totally switched off.
And this is what I was going to say. I think everybody switched off after 5 issues. I would say We Only Find You When You're Dead, all right, is worth reading as a trade paperback. As a 5-issue collection, the first volume, quality. And I can imagine the second volume is going to be the same, because I'm now up to, I think it's issue 11, and it now starts to make sense. But it's one of those books, and same as Al Ewing did with Immortal Hulk, you kind of have to read the start to understand where it's going later on. And there's a lot of longevity writing in there, which I love. I love longevity writing. And that's why I like James Roberts, who wrote More Than Meets the Eye with Transformers. He was just incredible with the longevity writing. So he'll set a seed in issue 1, and then it won't happen until issue 20, and it all explodes. You're like, whoa, how did I not see that going? So this is good for that. But if you want, like, action and constant, brilliance writing, it's not one to pick up. But if you want, a consistent story that builds and gets better and better and better, only slowly, but slowly gets better, I would recommend We Only Find Them When They're Dead.
See, I remember talking when this first came out. I remember having a conversation with Scott Shelf, and we was like, "This is great. This is a really good story. It tells about a story about the gods in space, and there's people out there like the Steelers that are going around to try and get everything." And I just lost interest in it. And I think there does come a point sometimes where it's like, I've got to put this comic down, and I've just got to wait for it in trade paperback form. And I think this is definitely one of them. So I'm going to do what Pete's done. He's picked up the first volume, and he's read it. Connie's read the first one and the second. So I think I might jump on it, because I did enjoy the first 3 or 4 issues, but I just got lost and I got disinterested, and I was like, I can't really be. I've got better things to read, if I'm being honest.
I think I almost jumped off it because the first 4 issues were very character development heavy.
Yeah,
a lot of like to and from and going back and forth. This is this character, that's that character. This is why they're on the ship. This is why they're doing that. This is why the woman that's chasing them hates them so much.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, it's a really good story.
Yeah, and I think I need to just give it a go. I think so. A trade paperback will definitely be the way forward. And last but not least, we have The Silver Coin, Volume 2, 128 pages, 16.99, written by various artists, written by various writers, and the art is by the fantastic Michael Walsh. This ties together issues number 6 to 10. This has been sensational, considering this was a comic that was meant to only be 5 issues. We're now on number 10. Issue number 11 and 12 are coming out in the next couple of months. This is one of my favourite ever horror comics. I think it's because there's so many. It really reminds me of Tales of the Crypt, because there's always a different story. There's always something different going on, but then it all kind of ties back to one thing. And I'm really, really looking forward to picking this up. Are you going to read this, Tom? Have you been reading it?
I'll be honest, mate. I only read up to issue 5.
And issue number 5 was great.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be picking this, and I think Andy will be picking this up as well. Triple G has said, Charlie, I was like that with Department of Truth, got bored and lost, just picked up the latest volume to give it a go again, and he loves Silver Coin. Do you know what? I couldn't even get in to Department of Truth. I just
read
couldn't.
issue 1, I was done.
I couldn't do it with the artwork, and I guess for a dyslexic like yourself, that must have been hard. Like, because it seems to be all over the place.
Well, I mean, we've spoke about this before. Like, really wordy comics, I struggle with anyway. But sometimes I can get past that and get into it. Department of Truth, it was not only wordy, but you had to have a degree in history.
Yeah,
and it's something I don't have.
Yeah.
So I was really struggled with issue 1, and then I just couldn't get past that. And it just, it kind of, for me, I want a bit of escapism. Like I have a hard day work, and I have a hard evening job too. So I want a bit of escapism from a comic book. I don't want to have to read a historical novel to escape from life. So yeah, Department of Truth was a no-go for me. However, people have said how good it gets. So I could be persuaded to, go back and reread it when I find, 17 million hours to read it.
And you get your history degree.
Yeah, exactly.
And look, Pete's just agreed with you. Low, I agree, Tom. I don't know what was going on most of the time. That's like me in my everyday life. I just struggle through it, mate. But I get on with it. So that is the trade.
Fake it till you make it, pal.
That is the trades for next week. Now we get to the business end. And Tom, I have to say, mate, you've absolutely run away with it this week at 75%.
Come on!
You have absolutely smashed it. So on that note, I'm going to end. We've had 21 voters. So I'm going to end on that. And that's great. You will now be added. See, look, that's because a certain guy said last week, oh, you're not using your line. You can use it. And because of that...
I was just going to say that. Comic Book Weekly.
Yeah. Because I didn't add my extra slide. I haven't added my extra slide. So yeah, you can take up. You can add yours now. Well done.
Yeah, I can have my own little box. To be fair, if I win 2 more, I have to take Andy. So come on, people. Yes, go on. 2 more for me.
See, look, the heat is on. But yeah, that's fantastic. So yes, you win week number 19. Well done, mate. Well done. Now,
thanks, guys.
Coming to the end of the show now, this is the Killer Comic Show sneak peek for next week. And as always, this is where we give you a little sneak into the comics that we'll be reading. I've kind of done something a bit different this week, mate, because normally we pick the 3 comics that we're reading, but there's so many coming out. There's so many that came out this week that I've kind of picked the 3 that we chose, and then I just threw a few others in there. So just to give the viewers an overhead that we might mix it up and maybe do 4 comics next week, or 3 different ones that we're choosing. So up first, we've got your one, which Andy chose last week.
The Barnstormers, yeah. I'm looking forward to reading this. So Barnstormers is Scott Snyder. It's on Comixology, so you can read it all. I mean, we're only waiting for it to be in print, so people can read it along with us.
Yeah.
This is my pick.
Barnstormers.
Why did I say brand? There's no R.
No.
Why did I say brand? What is wrong with me?
It's the Brand Flake Stormers. No, this is Barnstormers issue number 1 from Comixology. I picked this for Andy because I assume he will go for it because he's picked every other issue so far. This is Reign issue number 5, the final issue in the fantastic run by Joe Hill, David Mbua, and the art by the fantastic Zoe Thorogood. So this is now coming to an end, and it comes to the I don't know how it's going to end, but it's going to be fantastic. So Andy is, I assume, going to pick this one. I have gone for Alice Ever After issue
Yes,
number 2.
Charlie.
This for me was so enjoyable. Absolutely loved it. And for some reason, I'm really loving and reading it more because I'm addicted to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. So this is kind of just every time I read this now, I see Johnny Depp in it, and I'm going to continue reading this. So this is fantastic. Alice Ever After issue number 2, and then I've also gone for Slumber issue number 3 because we've been following that. This has been great. So we've been following that. We've also that is all I went for. So there was only 2 comics. There was only 2 extra comics. So it's the 3 that we've picked, which is Barnstormers, Rain, and Alice Ever After, and then we've picked an additional one of Slumber issue number 1.
I'm up for doing 4 if we can get round to reading them. If I don't have to read them last minute.
I think if we can, it'd be great because and we've also got like Something That's Killing the Children's coming out as well. So there's quite a few there.
House of Slaughter issue 6.
House of Slaughter issue number 6. So there are so many comic covers coming out next week. But Tom, it's been a fantastic show. It's been a good show.
It's been a great show, mate.
I think I've been flicking over to the YouTube channel, and it looks like I have been living in a hole, and it looks like I've been doing this on a Nintendo that I've been using a Nokia 5110 for my video camera. But who cares? No one wants to really see my face. They just want to listen to us talk about comics, so it doesn't really matter. But every single one of you in the chat have been absolutely fantastic. Week in, week out, you're consistently great. So thank you very much for joining us. Tom, all my love to you, mate, because you are the sexiest man on YouTube. You're a fireman. You are, and you love your comics as well. So thank you for making this week in, week out enjoyable to do. And then sending all of our love to Andy, who is ill, in bed, recovering at the moment. So he will hopefully be back with us next week. Massive shout out to Jeremy Holt for signing and Made in Korea books and sending them over to us. And yeah, again, have a great week, guys. Read the comics, enjoy what you're reading, enjoy what you love. And Tom,
let me just reiterate what you said, mate. Thanks everyone for being here. Like, it's awesome that you come here every week and share your Thursday night with us. If you could all go over to Andy's Instagram and just give him a big hug and say, thinking about you, mate, because he is very poorly and he is suffering. We haven't really heard from him much this week, so we know he's very poorly. So if you could show him some love, because I know he'd really appreciate that, because we appreciate you guys being here every week. And I know he really appreciates it every week doing this with us show. So I know he's missing it. So yeah, big thanks, guys. Massive.
And I can confirm that I am not captive in an Afghan bunker.
No, he's just in my shed.
I'm just in Tom's shed because, as you notice, Tom's internet is as shocking as mine, and that's because I'm literally tethering off his Wi-Fi. It's not only my job that I've lost my home as well. I'm only joking, guys. It's been fantastic. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the comics that you read. Enjoy your love. And Tom, what do we say?
Stay safe. Stay sexy, guys. See you.
See you later.